Hi everyone, I'm Fahmidul Haq, visiting professor, Bard College. I welcome you all to this talk on disinformation and digital media. This talk is a part of collaborative project between Open Society University Network and Experimental Humanities Collaborative Network based in Bard College. To start the discussion, I share my slides, and we are living in a time of post-truth. So we need to discuss, we need to analyze, and we need to know the disinformation aspects in the digital media, how it happens, and what is the degree of disinformation. For this talk, I have consulted the article, The National Security Case for Fixing Social Media. It was published in the magazine The New Yorker by G.S. Gustell. I have also consulted other different sources. I have a 2020 version of that book, Antisocial, and you can also consult that book. He was talking about how disinformation actually works and some other aspects of the whole process. He was focusing about the responsibilities of the platforms to resist this disinformation. At the beginning of my discussion, I am to focus the context of the whole thing. So there is a term misinformation, and the other term is disinformation. So we are talking about disinformation today. Sometimes misinformation might be a very innocent act because it is false information or inaccurate information. But disinformation is very dangerous because it is created from a deliberate attempt and with some malicious content, right? So we are talking about disinformation today, and we have some great examples in front of us. Andrew Marans also was talking about the case of 2016 US election, where that time an organized disinformation attempt was seen against candidate Hillary Clinton by the Republican people, and it was quite a successful disinformation attempt. And from that point, people became very much aware about that the whole thing going on the social media or on the digital platforms. We have also seen there is an outbreak of virus. At the same time, there is an outbreak of disinformation, especially that were propagated through digital platforms. Um, Even some mainstream media sometimes pick fake videos or images from social media. This kind of disinformation are so intriguing, so provocative that even mainstream media sometimes get provoked and use those kind of disinformed materials on on mainstream media. So, who might be the disinformants? It might be an individual or a group or a government body, even, or political body. Be sure there must be some malicious intent before propagating any disinformation. What are the impacts of this disinformation process? It might be defamation of a particular individual or particular group of people or particular political party, and due to disinformation there are recourse some fights and some attacks on individual or group. These are taking place, and disinformation can be the reason of the death of some people. Among all digital platforms, the record shows that Facebook is seen as the main channel for spreading false information. Disinformation or false information are propagated through all kind of digital platforms. But you see, the you see here, Facebook is used mostly by the disinformants. Disinformation can take place in different sphere from individual level to the global level. In global level, disinformation may target the rival nations, and to do that, in that process, um, the foreign third party sometimes are hired. They are like marketing agencies, public relation firms, and they are deployed to create disinformation. So one country is hiring some professional marketing agencies to create some disinformation targeting other countries. Third party actors, from troll farms in the Philippines to strategic communication firms in the United States to peer farms in Ukraine, have been accused of running disinformation campaigns. So in different countries, there are some marketing agencies or peer farms are developed to give the service to the people looking for creation of disinformation. Individuals linked to the Saudi government created Twitter accounts, three of them with more than 100,000 followers, and used these accounts to spread rumors of a coup in Qatar. So these are some examples how disinformation can work in global level. Even during the ongoing Russian war in Ukraine, there is an outbreak of disinformation, and the fact checkers actually they got united to resist this disinformation procedures. I can show you a news regarding this, how global fact checkers they are coming together and trying to resist this disinformation procedures in the Russian war in Ukraine. So you can see that news. Global fact checkers unite to battle disinformation about Russian invasion of Ukraine. So you can check this news, and you can learn how they are working. This is another kind of battle going on. Okay. Okay. Here is a case how this Russian method has been leading the global disinformation process. There's an example, or this is a case. Um, let's go back to that 2016 US election. That time, the cyber disinformation campaign conducted by Russia in 2016, largely on Facebook, gave us a glimpse of what's possible. Russia conducts disinformation operations at home, in bordering countries, and across the world. It works through several arms at once: the sophisticated Kremlin directed SVR, which is the equivalent of the CIA, the clumsier military run ZRU, and the Savvier Internet Research Agency in St. Petersburg. In general, Russia seeks to push disinformation in a comprehensive, integrated way so as to give its content an aura of authenticity. Using so called shock puppets, inauthentic personas on Facebook and elsewhere, its campaigns inflame existing political tensions with calls to action, online petitions, forced evidence, and false news. This specious material is then cited by seemingly legitimate news sites established by Russia for the purpose of spreading and corroborating disinformation. Russian cyber actors have become increasingly sophisticated, using an integrated array of the spy agencies called TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures to avoid detection. Russian TTPs are tested first in border states, Lithuania, Estonia, Ukraine, Poland, before being deployed against America. So that is a quite well organized, sophisticated method, which is a big example of great disinformation structure and procedure. So this text is taken from the New Yorker article. If we look back to the USA, in 2019, 8% of engagement with the 100 top performing news sources on social media was dubious. In 2020, that number more than doubled to 17%. You can remember there is a hashtag Stop the Steal campaign by Donald Trump and his followers when they were defeated in the last US election. And this whole hashtag Stop the Steal campaign was actually trying to prove how this election was uh, stolen from them by the Democrats. Political actors are increasingly outsourcing their disinformation work to third-party PR and marketing firms and using AI-generated profile pictures. So you can see in the USA also, uh, the political actors, they are hiring third party from the other part of the world. Okay, and they're using AI generated profile pictures, fake pictures actually, to demean someone or the opponents. So here is the result of a study conducted in the University of Wisconsin Milwaukee. After analyzing 1,000 individual tweets and their accompanying content, the researchers mapped the themes they identified. This map shows this map shows the 7 dominant myths propagated in misinformed tweets during the time of the study in early 2020. It is regarding COVID-19. So you can see 7 dominant myths like COVID is over, economic liberty over safety, religious myths, flu comparison, economic liberty over safety, ridiculing experts, or containment fakers. So these are region specific. Some myths are developed in a particular region of the United States. So here comes the idea of deepfake. If disinformation is the earlier idea, deepfake is a recent idea, and also it is mostly connected to the video contents. Deepfakes use artificial intelligence tools to stimulate people doing or saying things they never did or said, or appearing in fabricated situations without their consent. It is Joshua Rothkopf who has been working on deepfakes. So it is AI-enabled, newly created fake images, totally depending on lies. Many deepfakes use AI to deceive or manipulate. Nowadays, it is a great source of disinformation. The most common form of deepfake, the face swap video, the goal is to replace target face with a source face. So there will be a target face and there will be a source face. The source face might be authentic or a genuine person, but his or her face is used to target face, and in that way, artificial uh, say profile is being created to propagate disinformation. I will love to share an example here that is self-explanatory and that will make clear what is meant by deepfake. That was not real Elon Musk. So this is an example of deepfake. In this way, deepfake can be defamatory for individuals or organizations and can be misused for political purposes. Imagine a situation: a video is created with the help of AI-enabled deepfake technology, and something defamatory or demeaning video is being created against particular candidate, the impact might be devastating for that candidate, right? This technological wonder can be used for civic purposes. There's some examples too on that regard. Say HBO documentary "Welcome to Chechnya." They used deepfake to protect the identities of LGBTQ activists who are fleeing from Russia. This is a discussion about true versus false, authentic versus manufactured, and even you can describe it as good versus bad. So this disinformation might be very bad. So you need to do something, or you need to intervene. The First Amendment of U.S. Constitution that actually ensures freedom of speech of any kind, and also Section 230 of Communication Decency Act, a law enacted in 1996 that was designed to allow the nascent internet to flourish without legal entanglements. Now, amending 230 is necessary, as experts say, once the underdog companies are now tech giants. So back in 1996, Section 230 was necessary, perhaps, to support the firms or support the companies or the entities in digital media, so that they can flourish very quickly and without any barriers. But once the underdog companies are now tech giants, and they are actually determining factors in many aspects of the society, culture, and politics. So the Congress can pass laws to curtail disinformation. Me individually is the defender of freedom of speech, but in the debate of freedom of speech and responsibility, I go with the both of the aspects of this debate. So there should be some intervention by the government or by the Congress. The Congress can pass laws not to create barriers for freedom of speech, but to curtail disinformation. So this is a very tricky position to take, but we must do something to resist this disinformation procedures. Online political ads must subject to the same disclosure and approval rules that apply to the ads on radio and TV. So this is an example how this can be done. So when you are doing political ads on radio and TV, you must have some disclosure that might be applicable to online political ads. At the age of disinformation and post-truth, fact-checking has become very important, and actually fact checkers are the saviors at this moment. Pointer Institute's International Fact Checkers Network is the global body of fact checkers. Meta is working with the third party fact checkers to debunk information, as we have known. You can see this news from Meta. They're trying to respond to the rise of disinformation, and they have developed some mechanisms to resist disinformation in their platform, and they are actually working with the third party fact checking programs. And also, global news agencies such as AP and Reuters, they have opened their own fact checking wings. Yeah, and nowadays, differentiating the fact and the disinformation is a great challenge for platforms, for news agencies, for media, and for all other connecting entities. So global news agencies, they have opened their own fact-checking wings. Facebook disables group recommendations, bans political ads, bans some groups for the post. accused of disinformation, Twitter attached labels with that kind of posts. Platforms are trying to negotiate with the situation, but we know there's a long way to go. And you know what happened in 2016 U.S. election? People were concerned about what would happen to this 2020 election, but fortunately, nothing happened like that, especially during the election and before the election. So platforms and media and political parties, they were very much aware of the situation. So nothing like 2016 election happened this time. Twitter banned the account of Donald Trump after January 6th incident, and he got it back after Elon's takeover of the platform. There are some examples regarding some steps taken by Meta and Twitter. Between 2018 and 2020, Facebook and Twitter announced that they had taken down 147 influence operations in total. In 2020, Facebook and Twitter were increasingly specific in attributing a given operation to specific individuals, companies, and governments. 76% of takedowns were attributed to a specific actor in 2020 compared to 62% in 2019 and 47% in 2018. Twitter removed 7,000 accounts linked to the young wing of Turkey's ruling Justice and Development Party. A takedown in November 2020 of a network that originated in Iran and Afghanistan included a Facebook page and Instagram account pretending to represent Afghanistan's most popular TV channel, and that is called as typo squatting. Typo squatting is like creating a similar kind of site with a different IP address. Say, for example, there might be an IP address like www.cnn and an additional n. That would be a different site, but the logos and everything might look like. They may use the logo of CNN, and they can create a disinformation material. The smart online users, they actually understand this kind of thing, but for the light users or who are not tech savvy or digital platform savvy, they can be confused, but they can be misguided by this kind of typo squatting. We are at the end of our discussion. I want to throw a question here: what to do with this situation? How to resist this information? Let's think about it for a while, and after that, I'll conclude the discussion. Think about the degree of the problem, how bad the situation is, and let's think about some solutions, what can be done. I'll try to indicate some measures that may be helpful to stop misinformation in digital platforms. Platforms to be more accountable. Primarily, they were not very responsive to this problem, but nowadays they are actually they have understood the situation, and they have agreed to respond to the situation. And so, as I have already discussed, they have taken some measures. There are a lot of things left to be done. Some policy initiatives by the governments. I have also discussed this aspect. Fact checking to be enhanced. Fact checkers are very important nowadays. Um, Pointer institutes, I've seen they are actually supporting fact checkers living different part of the world. They're doing conference. They are training up the new fact checkers. This also should be supported by the governments, and this whole procedure of fact checking has to be enhanced. And the new idea, deepfake, that should be detected by digital forensic. Kind of digital forensic team should be developed with the experts, with the fact checkers who are tech savvy enough to identify the deepfakes, and these deepfakes should be debunked regularly. After the debunk, these deepfake materials should be open for the public. And lastly, the awareness of the users. This is very important. If the users are quite aware about the situation, then the impact of disinformation would be limited. So there is a need of digital media education. There is a need to talk about the situation in different platforms, in mainstream media, in even in social media, and there must be some meetings, conference among people who are connected to these platforms. If there is a provocative material online, the user should think before clicking that material, because when you click it, you are actually contributing in propagating this disinformation. With this, I conclude here. Thanks for your patience.